Hey, what's going on, Guardians? TBL here, back once again to cover a quick bit of news for Destiny 2. This week we got a couple of updates from Bungie and even from game director Christopher Barrett, talking a bit about a couple of changes that we'll be seeing moving forward. And we're going to take a couple of minutes to go through what they had to say. First things first, I really wanted to say thank you all so much for the engagement with the last couple of videos on the channel. In particular, the last video I uploaded was one where I kind of posted a query to you all. I said, for those of you who've left Destiny 2, what would you like to see? What would it take to get you back to the game? And I asked you to kind of explain your stance on what you'd like to see change specifically for PvE and for PvP. The engagement on that has been fantastic. You guys came back with some really great ideas, even a lot of things that I myself hadn't even considered. And I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you, Guardians. Those were a lot of really great ideas, and some of them I'd really like to see implemented in the game. Good stuff. All right, let's go ahead and dive on into today's news. So, first things first, we got ourselves an update to the Destiny 2 development roadmap. This is coming straight from Christopher Barrett, who had this to say in an article posted on Bungie's website. In less than 2 weeks, update 1.1.4 will be available to install, bringing many quality of life changes to Destiny 2. Late in development, our team discovered a major issue impacting heroic strike modifiers. Changing the design to fix the issue meant pushing heroic modifiers out to 1.2.0, but we will be able to use the extra time to add more variety than there was in the original plan. So right off the bat, a little bit of bad news. Heroic strike modifiers are being pushed out to the May update of 1.2.0 during Season 3. That bums me a little bit. I still think it's a bit of a head scratcher that, well, first off, Destiny 2 launched without heroic strikes at all, and then when we finally got them, because remember, we didn't get heroic strikes until Curse of Osiris in December, they launched without modifiers. Now we're going to have to wait another month or two before we can actually get heroic strike modifiers. But at the very least, they do say that they're going to use this extra time to add more variety than was in their original plan. I think that's very good to hear, sort of like they did with the Nightfall unique rewards, which we'll be talking about a little bit later. If they're going to be taking this time to add some brand new fun Nightfall modifiers or like heroic strike modifiers and whatnot from Destiny 1 into the heroic strike playlist in D2, I'm perfectly okay with that. I still think we could get stuff like grounded, airborne, small arms for goodness sake, and a whole list of brand new modifiers that do different things in Destiny 2. There's plenty of room for it, and I'm glad to see that they're going to be adding a bit of variety to the list of modifiers we'll have now. So that being said, I can grit my teeth and wait another month or two before heroic strikes become, well, fun to play, I guess would be the words. But anyways, continuing on. Starting March 27th, the weekly Crucible playlist will become available to all. This playlist will contain Rumble, Mayhem, and 6v6 Iron Banner to start. And here's the calendar for when you can expect these game modes to appear through the week of May 1st. So, starting the week of March 27th, we've got Rumble. Then the next week, the game mode is going to be Mayhem. Then Iron Banner the week after that. Rumble the week after that. The week after that is April 24th with Mayhem once again, and then finally wrapping things up back on the week of May 1st with the Iron Banner. Chris finishes up by saying, "We're excited for you to get your hands on these modes, along with the upcoming Sandbox tuning and Crucible changes detailed in last week's TWAB. Stay tuned for more information about 1.2.0 in April, as we'll be giving more details on what to expect from exotic masterworks, seasonal Crucible rankings, heroic strike modifiers, and more." And there we go, those are the changes to the Destiny 2 development roadmap. Heroic strikes have been pushed out, but we've gotten a bit more information about how PvP playlists are going to be changing. I'm very happy that we're getting the weekly Crucible playlist back. You'll remember that's something that was introduced back in Destiny 1 that was curiously absent from D2. I know a lot of people out there would much rather be able to just pick their own specific game modes, but I do like that they're bringing back kind of a highlighted playlist that's going to be something different every single week. Plus, it gives me my Mayhem back, and I have to be happy with that and Rumble coming. And they are certainly coming soon. We are now less than 10 days away from the drop of 1.1.4, which is going to change up several things, including the Sandbox, so got a lot to look forward to there. But there we go. The other bit of news comes from the TWAB. Of course, next week, starting on March 20th, we've got the return of the faction rallies. You know how this works. You pledge to a faction, you go and compete in content, you earn engrams, you get faction armor and special faction weapons. This time around, we're going to have 3 new weapons that you can earn from engrams or purchase from your vendors. We've got a new Monarchy shotgun, a future War Cult shotgun, and a Dead Orbit submachine gun. And for the victory weapons, we've got a new future War Cult sniper rifle, a new Monarchy grenade launcher, and a Dead Orbit Viced sniper rifle. Gonna be pretty interested in seeing what perks are gonna come on those. Now, in addition to that, this is actually going to be a very special faction rally because it is the final faction rally of Season 2. That's right, the faction leaders are going to be taking a bit of a vacation while the Seasons team over at Bungie revamps them a little bit to make them a bit more impactful in Season 3. They state that they want to make it a more meaningful choice for you to pledge to a faction. They don't want to time gate your rewards anymore, and they want to add in some of that existing lore from these factions into the game. I really love that last part because, of course, these factions, they do have great lore and stories behind them. If you haven't already, you should go look up the history specifically of like the new Monarchy. If you're somebody who loves old Executor Hideo, you might come back feeling a little bit different about the new Monarchy once you learn that they're rather fond of staging coups. But there's a lot of great lore in this game around all of these characters, around all of these factions, that is just, kind of oddly absent from the game. So I love that they're going to be incorporating that into the game in some way. We've got the great lore tab on a lot of weapons and armor now, and I would love to see it come for the factions too. So I'm very much looking forward to what the Seasons team is going to be doing when they revamp Faction Rally for when it returns in Season 3. Now that's pretty much it for the biggest bits of news in this week's This Week at Bungie article, but it did end on a rather interesting note. Here's what Cosmo had to say at the end of the TWAB. We've been monitoring the response and gathering your feedback about all of the Sandbox and Crucible changes we told you about last week. We've heard a lot of feedback on in-air accuracy. The Sandbox team let us know that in the upcoming Go Fast update, they are increasing hipfire accuracy and ADS accuracy for hand cannons on consoles. They also said they would take another look at in-air accuracy and do some testing after update 1.1.4 goes live. But speaking of 1.1.4, we'll be back next week with some more info on the update you'll be playing in less than 2 weeks. We'll also show off some of the new Nightfall unique rewards. And that, Guardians, is very exciting. So first things first, of course, hand cannons are seeing an accuracy buff in both hipfire accuracy and ADS accuracy on consoles. If you haven't played Destiny 2 on PC, but you played on consoles, hand cannons work very differently on Destiny 2 for PC than they do on consoles. They're much more accurate, which makes their high overall damage output very desirable. It's why you see a lot of people using hand cannons on PC. They're still good on console, but they are way more accurate on PC, so I'm very happy to see that they're going to be getting that kind of buff on consoles to make them perform a little bit better. And of course, in-air accuracy has been something a lot of people have been complaining about. It's kind of wonky in Destiny 2 right now. And with this new Go Fast update getting you to get up and move around faster and higher in the air, in-air accuracy is definitely an important note that I'm very happy to see Bungie directly address. That was something a lot of people brought up after they read the Go Fast update patch notes and specifically asked Bungie about, so I'm very happy to see them directly address it. It gives me hope that, they are definitely still listening, and as 1.1.4 comes out and we start to give them live feedback, maybe they will really act on our feedback and look to kind of tune the game even further. Good stuff there. But finally, of course, we're getting our first look at Nightfall unique rewards next week. I am super excited about this. This was supposed to go into effect in last month's update, but was of course pushed back to update 1.1.4 to really make the things that we're going to be earning in the Nightfall super duper unique. And I really hope that we're going to be getting some really awesome looking weapons and armor. I hope it's not just like one or the other. I want new Nightfall like weapon sets and armor sets and all kinds of stuff. I'm probably hoping for a little bit too much there, but I cannot wait to learn more about it next week. But alright, Guardians, there we go. That is pretty much it for all of the news we had to talk about today. Some very interesting stuff in there. I am a little bit bummed that the Heroic Strike modifiers aren't going to be included in the patch in about 10 days or so, but that's okay. If they're going to be taking the time to make them better, that's fine. I'll just not run Heroic Strikes the same way I've been not running Heroic Strikes in Destiny 2. They're fantastic in Destiny 1. But that's it for this one, Guardians. Be sure to let me know what you think of all these changes down in the comment section below. Are you bummed about the modifier change? What modifiers from Destiny 1 would you guys like to see come back? Sound off with that down in the comment section below. There should be some interesting stuff, as long as you don't say Arc Burn Light Switch. You're not allowed, that's banned. You cannot bring Arc Burn Light Switch back. I hereby decree that is absolutely banned. But alright, if you enjoyed this video, feel free to drop a like, make sure you subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay up to date with all of the latest Destiny 2 news as it's coming out. But anyways, it's going to be it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching, and as always, I am TheBlackLink. You Guardians, stay frosty.